In today's video, we are going to unlock your desires to activate your destiny. Discover the connection between desires and destiny. I'm Lara Waldman, also known as the Wealth Accelerator, podcast host and author of Money Manifestation Mastery. And we are going to unlock buried treasure, hidden potential inside today's conversation. If I ask you, what are your deepest desires? How would you answer that question? And what comes up for you with that question? Many people have buried their deepest desires, hidden it, cut off from it for all sorts of reasons. Many people fear their desires or feel that what they desire doesn't fit in with the life that they're living. Maybe it's dangerous to connect to desires. So a lot of people have suppressed their desires or hidden their desires. And also many people have a lot of shame around their desires and go into secrecy around their true desires and are expressing their desires, but from a place of the shadow, hidden, quietly. So they may be acting out their desires, but without anyone finding out or hoping that no one finds out. And this is where we see a lot of shadowy behavior with desires. So I think that our true desires get a bad rep because of how we are with them. I would say the lack of leadership around your desires and the lack of consciousness around how to work with your desires. I spend a lot of time working with my clients on this subject around tapping into their deepest desires. My favorite question to ask people, anyone who will answer, is, what do you want? What do you really want? Which is another way of saying, what do you desire? What do you deeply desire? And so many people struggle to answer that question. But what I know, having coached so many people on this subject, is that your wants, your desires, are buried treasure within. They live inside of you. And I love going mining for gold for this buried treasure, for your deepest desires. And why is that? Well, I have found an incredible connection between your desires and your destiny. Your soul-aligned destiny, your heart-aligned destiny, becoming who you truly are. And yet, because our deepest desires are often hidden, buried in the shadows of shame or pain or shut down, what I've learned is how to create a safe journey into your desires. Safety is key. It's really important to figure out, how do you navigate unblocking your deepest desires in a safe way, so you don't blow up your life, you don't unintentionally hurt or harm anyone else. I know myself, I was really scared to wake up my deepest desires. I believed that if I tapped into them, that I would blow up my life. And it was a choice between what I really wanted and then my kind of safety and security of my home life. And what I figured out was how to bridge this gap in a safe way, one loving patient step at a time. So your deepest desires is like buried treasure, and that actually lives inside of your body, mostly around the belly and the pelvic floor, the sacral chakra and the root chakra. It is lying there inside of you, an unexpressed aspect of yourself. Your desires, when they're held in a safe space, is all about you coming to life. You coming into life and expressing parts of yourself that have been shut down. So there is a way to unlock your deepest desires in a safe way. But what is very cool about your deepest desires is this buried treasure within is actually connected to your destiny, to that soul-aligned wisdom, that heart-aligned wisdom. And so your deepest desires, when they're in separation between your soul, your heart, your consciousness, can be self-destructive, can be shadowy, can create problems in your life. But when you unlock your deepest desires and bridge that gap between your soul, your heart, your soul-aligned destiny, then your deepest desires are like a fuel to your fire. And they come into connection with what you could call your higher self or your soul self. And they are linked, they are interconnected. Your desires want to unlock more of your potential, your gifts, who you are, that fully expressed version of yourself. And yet, these are maybe unexpressed or underdeveloped or inexperienced parts of yourself that may not know how to live in life. And yet what I know is this is really about your life force energy, who you are. And there is a way to safely bring this part of you out one step at a time. And what I found is self-leadership is really important. So you can wake up your deepest desires that may want to do all sorts of things. But when you can connect it into the soul or into your destiny, what you're here to do with that desire, what that desire wants, what it longs for, what it wants to create, it will call you home into who you are and what you're here to do. It's a superpower, it's a super fuel, and it's life force energy. And once your desire is given permission to live, to breathe, to express itself, then it will come back home into alignment. Anything that's been suppressed or shamed or made wrong will go into the shadows, go into the dungeon of the self. And it can be really shadowy. It can create a lot of destruction. And this is really what we see a lot in the world. What are unexpressed desires or desire that's disconnected from source, disconnected from your heart, can do all sorts of hurtful and harmful things. It can come from more of a hedonistic place. It's a place of separation. So when you're in separation between your destiny and your desires, then it can do all sorts of things that aren't really going to fuel your life. It may be fun in the short term, but it can create more of an addiction rather than deep fulfillment. It's more of a hungry ghost that is longing to be fed. But when it comes into your soul-aligned destiny, it becomes a life force energy that can live and breathe. So it's really important to say that this is a process. And like I said, safety is key. How to bring this out in a safe way that doesn't hurt or harm unintentionally. And this means slowing down to speed up. But through the body, what's important is that, as I said, the desire lives in the lower centers and your destiny, you could say, lives in the higher centers. And we want to bridge that through the body. So all of your energy centers, all of your chakras are aligned, activated, open, and they're working together. They're working together and they come back home into union, into unity, into wholeness. It's something I call integrated wealth, when you are living abundance. And this is why my programs are called Living Abundance Mastermind, Living Abundance Leaders, Living Abundance Live in London, because what we're doing is helping you to come back home to yourself. And I know that a lot of people I speak to are really scared to wake up what they want, to unlock their desires. They're scared of what will happen. They're scared of the unknown. They're scared of what change will come if they wake this up and start listening to it and letting them be led by their destiny, led by their desires. And this is why I've created a step-by-step process to do this in as safe a way as possible, to help you navigate through change, navigate through transformation, one step at a time. So you don't have to blow up your life. Yes, there may be some things that you choose to change, but you can make that change consciously and mindfully. And sometimes, like I said, that means slowing down to speed up, not rushing through change, is sometimes the smartest thing to do. But I always guide my clients home and myself home to listening to your soul, listening to your heart, right? And that's the leadership, soul-aligned leadership, heart-aligned leadership. So any aspects of yourself that are in the shadows or in separation that may be hungry for something and longing for something, we want to bridge it with the heart and soul, so you make sure that the choices you are making are in alignment with what it is you actually want and are in alignment with your true destiny. And this is part of manifestation mastery. This is part of a process. And we want to take this one step at a time. So I'm here to create a safe space for you to unlock your desires, your deepest desires, and activate your destiny and help you to bridge that gap, wake up that wealth, step into that abundant version of you, fully expressed, fully realized, fully here. From this place, you can create so powerfully in all areas of your life, unlocking your life force energy to create what it is that you truly desire. So you want to take all that unlocked, untapped energy and potential and then flow it in the right direction, which is something I call aligned action. So you're taking actions in alignment with your soul, your heart, your body. When your desires and your destiny are integrated. So I would love to know what is landing for you in today's conversation. What is your number one takeaway from this conversation? I would love to know what you truly desire. And I would love to support you with unlocking that desire and activating your destiny. So if you would like any help with this, you can visit the links below. Feel free to apply for my wealth acceleration session, where we can have a one-to-one and deep dive into this subject together. There are also incredible opportunities to connect. We have Living Abundance Live in London, my 3-day in-person event. We have our free online wealth retreat, free masterclasses. You can come check out my podcast. We have a whole wealth of resources for you to support you with this process. And I would love to dive even deeper with you very soon. So click on the links below and let's take that next step and support you, bridging the gap between your deepest desires and your destiny.